Cats get the win tonight. Head coach Sean Miller's joined us here courtside. I know, Coach, you really like the way you guys practiced the last few days here leading up to this ball game. Did the team deliver to you, I mean, outside of the win, what you wanted to see from them tonight?
Yeah, to your point, Brian, you can only judge yourself, especially when you come off of the first loss of a season. And obviously, from an offensive perspective at Baylor, we really struggled. And, Baylor deserves a lot of credit. We played against a very good team. But there were a number of things that our team needed to learn by going through that experience. And, we can talk about it. We can have 2 good days of practice. But I thought the intentions of everybody that were out here today was, to move the ball. We have a big emphasis right now on defensive rebounding. It's something that we can get a lot better at. It's not one player's fault. It's not one player's responsibility. It's a collective group effort. Our guards have to do a better job rebounding, but our big guys have to do a better job rebounding. Just generally speaking, we as a coaching staff have to get them to block out and make sure we do it not for parts of the game but for the entire game and emphasize that. And we did a better job in the second half in that area. There were still a few plays that I wish we could have eliminated their second shot, but that's only the emphasis right now, because for us to be the best team we can be, we have to improve that area of our team. And we have enough talent in our locker room to be better than we've shown through the first 11 games. And I think for us to have a special season and continue to point towards improvement, that's a big deal. And that's another thing you learn when you play Baylor, because they're really, really good at it. And I think that's kind of like the litmus test of this is how it feels when you're playing against the best in that area.
I will never take Ira Lee for granted, but his energy off the bench just seems to be contagious at times. And 12 points, 6 rebounds tonight, hit 6 of 7 shots, played 20 minutes in the ball game. He brings something when he comes out onto the court. And is it more the rebounding? Is that the most important thing you look for from him?
It is, and he rebounded at Baylor. He rebounded again tonight. That's one thing that Ira, we all know, he's been able to do that from the day he came here. But you're right. We're not just an ironclad starting 5, and everybody else just tries to sub in to give that starting group a breather. This year's team is really made up of 9 and 10 players that on different nights, and it might be somebody who doesn't start the game, has the best game of anybody that's on our team. And we had great contributions from the guys who didn't start. Christian Coloco, in 13 minutes, he had 10 rebounds. Think about that. And, he just came from Baylor where, he had 3 blocked shots in the same amount of time. So I think when you look at his progression, he's improving, and he's somebody that we're really starting to trust and count on even more.
Sometimes with those freshmen, especially the guys like Christian, who hasn't been a regular starter, hadn't had a lot of minutes up until the last week or so, you kind of, at least I think of that progression on a weekly basis. It almost seems like a daily basis now.
Yeah.
And do you see that in practice every day?
We do, and even when Christian wasn't playing, when I was asked about him, I would always reference how hard he practices every day. And the one thing is, when you come to our program, and we didn't really have it a year ago, but we really have had it in place for many other seasons, you just can't discount the competitive spirit, the competition on a daily basis in practice. I talked to Jack Murphy a lot about that, back a long time ago when Coach Olson was here, and the best teams that our fans have watched play, you forget who is going against who every day in practice. And I talked to Matt Muehlbach about that, and Matt talked about how it felt as a freshman when he came in, and you had Steve Kerr and Kenny Lofton and Craig McMillan, and he had to practice against them every day. Right now, Christian practices against Stone Gettings, who's not with us right now, Ira, Chase, Zeke. And you think about that, it's competitive. Jordan Brown's a part of what we do every day in practice. And so I think that when you play every day and you're working like he has worked, you improve without playing in the games, and you're that much more ready. And he's really, to his credit, stepped in and done a nice job in the last couple of weeks.
One other thing, one more question here, and that is you wanted to see better ball movement out of your team tonight. It's easy to see 25 assists and say it was better. Was it better all around?
I think so. I mean, let's start with Nico. Nico had a career-high 11 assists and only 2 turnovers, which is just outstanding. When you're a double-figure assist guy, that means you dominated the game. And then he had 13 points, was 3 for 6 from 3 in 26 minutes. He did a great job. And it starts with the point guard, and, it's contagious. And, tonight I thought a lot of guys shared the ball. In the first half, we hit a cold streak, but I thought the shots we were getting were quality shots. But having said that, there's a lot of things that happen in tonight's game that won't happen on Saturday. Gonzaga is an excellent team, and, we're going to need the best effort of our team first, the preparation leading into the game, and then obviously I know everybody's excited here in McHale, but we really have to have one of those magical days with a great crowd and a top performance to have a chance to beat the Zags. They're obviously a very good team, and they do not beat themselves. You have to take it.
We'll look forward to it. Thanks, Coach. All right, head coach Sean Miller here courtside as the Wildcats beat Omaha tonight 99-49.